Good morning, good evening, everyone. So today we have our student Alex Honest, who got an off-cycle position recently. So he's going to talk about his journey, the challenges he faced, and how he prepared for the match and how he managed to get the off-cycle position. So Alex, welcome, and we are glad to have you here.
Thank you very much, sir.
So let's start with your bit about yourself, year of graduation, etc., and your overview of your journey.
So my name is Alex Honest. I'm an international medical graduate. I am a US citizen now. I graduated from my medical school back in 2011 in India. And so that was the start of my journey towards the medicine. And then I came to United States back in 2015. I gave all my exams, got ECFMG certified in 2020. And 2021 match was the first time I applied for the match. I did not get any interview during the first match cycle, even though I researched about all the programs. I was very much interested from the beginning in the family medicine, and I was told that family medicine is usually not that much IMG friendly. They prefer the fresh graduates, they prefer the US graduates, but that was what I wanted to go in as a specialty. I researched all the programs around 600 plus and found out that there were around 130 programs who had the international medical graduates in the previous years. I applied to all of them and did not get a single interview. That was disheartening. So for the next cycle, I actually retrospectively looked back and see what I could do to improve my profile for the upcoming cycle. At that point of time, I did some inpatient rotations. I did to get better LORs. And then I also started volunteering in my community. One of the biggest advantage I had was that I was here in Oklahoma. I was a local person. So I started volunteering in the community services. I actually started just being a volunteer as a registration in one of the non-profit organizations called Good Samaritan. And from them, I started building contacts so that I was still in the middle of the medical community, and I was getting more and more contact with the doctors and the other faculty members and stuff like that. Through that, being in the part of the community, I also started volunteering in the long-term care communities like in Alzheimer units. I was just there doing the activities person and thereby getting into more contact with some of the physicians that were working there. By doing this, I actually got 2 interviews in the following year in the 2022 match cycle. During the interviews, they were more focused on getting to know me rather than just my scores, because the extensive work that I have done over the last year in the community, in the local. One thing that I came to know was that from those interviews, once I did not get match, was my subpar interview skills. That was, and what I felt at that point of time was, when I was given the interview, it was my seat to lose. And behold, I lost those seats. So I reached out to USMLE Sarthi because that's where I needed my most help with. I understood that the program outreach and the interview skills are going to be the 2 biggest thing that is going to be a deciding factor between me getting into residency and not getting into residency. So the match results came by in March, and I started getting more and more into contact with the other programs in the rural side to see if I can get a rotation, get somebody to connect with so that I can apply for the next year. I actually get connected to a program, and I was offered, and I am offered an off-cycle residency in family medicine program. Now, this is a rural program. They do not have any MDs before. They do not have any international medical graduates before. I would be the first one. So with sharing my testimony, I just wanted to share with all the international medical graduates like me is that don't get discouraged if you have low scores. Don't get discouraged if your year of graduation is more than a decade ago. Your selling point is not your profile on paper. Your selling point is yourself. Try to get connected try to anchor in the place that you are. Don't get discouraged if there is not a single international medical graduate before you. You could be the one who would be a trailblazer. You could be the one who would be starting something new in there, because you have anchored in that community, and that matters. And that's my testimony to share with you.
Good, good. Thank you. This is very inspiring. Uh, okay, so let's start with the major challenges you face. So one, of course, may have been year of graduation, right? So very old year of graduation. The other probably I can think of is you are an IMG unfriendly state, city. So that always is a challenge. So you mentioned some things about connecting with the community, local community, which is great. What were some of the other challenges and how did you overcome?
So one of the biggest challenge for me was to actually get noticed, because after the first cycle, I understood that, it doesn't matter if I apply to 130 programs, I'm just getting filtered out. If somebody doesn't know me, if somebody's not there to pull my application, I have no chance into getting the residency or even getting an interview. So, and the second thing that happened after the second year of failure is, even if I get an interview, if I cannot present myself, or in another word, if I cannot sell myself in that 45 minutes to an hour, if I don't shine enough, if I do not outshine everybody else, I don't have a chance. So that was the one there were two biggest things for me to overcome in this journey of US medical residency. First, to get noticed, and second, when somebody notices me, to shine enough so that they put their interest, the community, the program actually put that interest in me.
Okay. So now, of course, we'll talk about the preparation and the interview preparation. The first challenge, getting noticed. So you said you did a lot of community outreach, you connected with nonprofits and helping out community, which is a big thing in family medicine programs. What were other things you did? Was it LinkedIn, Twitter, or how did you make yourself visible?
In order to make myself visible, I instead of going through the online route, I did all of these things in person. I even in the residency that I got connected to, I basically, what I did was, whenever I got one opportunity, I tried to find an opportunity link from there to go to the next part. I was being the office manager with a private family medicine clinic for last 2 to 3 years. Up there, I tried to make contact not only with the physicians, but with the medical representatives as well, because these are the persons, they go to the other places. So, and by doing that, when I have my one foot in one place, from that connection, I actually got into the other place. And then I went to this residency program. I just asked them, hey, I'm interested in your program. I understand that I'm an MD applicant. I do not have an osteopathic background. Can you give me an opportunity to do an audition rotation? I actually reached out to the Oklahoma State University and said that, hey, I'm in a state where there are more osteopathic programs than the MD programs. Is there something that you can give me so that I can actually be the part of that? So the biggest thing is to, whenever you get an opportunity, keep asking questions. My goal was very clear that I want to be a family medicine physician. And if I did not see the opportunity, I kept asking questions to everybody and everybody I could meet. I want this. What can you suggest? And then I just followed the path.
Excellent. Good, good. So this really shows that, proactive behavior and ability to just reach out pays good dividends. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that insight. Now let's come to, the interview preparation and how you used Sarthi resources in terms of, when you say you wanted to outshine people and when you got this off-cycle interview.
So that, and that was an incredible week. I remember like I got a call from the program director saying that we are considering you for this off-cycle position, and your interview is going to be in 4 days. Now, at that point of time, the first thing I did was actually I called you, sir, Mr. Pawan, and I was like, hey, this is an incredible once in a lifetime opportunity, and I want your help because this is something that I was sure that Sarthi can help me. So I was given the whole last year's web interviews, the whole series available to me for those next 2 days. I went and watched every single interview. Those were some of the questions that were actually being asked. Those are common questions, of course, but very a small insight of those questions, how to answer them. So I made my notes. I actually wrote down those were like 12, 13 hours of videos. And with the notes and every preparation, it took me around 3 times more than time. But I wrote everything down, and then I got a mock interview with Dr. Steve Shah. If I'm not mincing my word, that was a life-changing hour. And that is it. The confidence and exuberance that Dr. Steve Shah has, and the meticulous work that he did with every single answer of mine a day before my interview. That was something like I from within, I was feeling like if I can do half of things that he is actually suggesting me, I'll definitely go ahead and ace an interview, and that seat is mine. So that, and I relate that message to him and say that, what, I got this because I learned from you. And so from Sarthi's team and all the interview prep and the mock interview helped me tremendously. And I could see the difference between what interviews I gave for the math cycles and the interview that actually landed me this residency.
Well, thank you, and thank you for being very, very humble and generous in your praise. So this was very useful. It really, I think, goes out to show that year of graduation and scores, like you said, are just one part of the profile. They're not everything. And how you reached out within the community, how your proactive behavior led to this eventual success. Before we leave, anything else that you may want to share with other applicants, any other tips that you may have for others?
So for every applicant, I would definitely say, if you have a profile similar to me, if you are an US international medical graduate, it doesn't matter whether you have the green card or not. Still, initially, there are things that you would like to there are things that you can change, and there are things that you cannot change. Right. Your visa status, your post scores, your year of graduation, you cannot change that. Once it's done, it's done. The things that you can change is how you approach to the programs. As I said previously, your application on paper at this point of time do not matter that much. If somebody knows you, they will pull out your application, and then that 1 hour is the only thing that is going to be the deciding factor. At that point of time, you are going to bring in all the knowledge that you have gathered. Don't focus on the negative sides of your application. Don't get bogged down that I don't have this and I don't have that. I do not have the inpatient experience for last decade. But still, I outshine myself by saying that I have this much plenty of different kind of medicinal experience. I've been doing an outpatient for this many years with this physician. Give me an opportunity. And I basically said, I am open to learn. I can be modifiable according to the structure of your program. Give me an opportunity and see my all the past experience are testament to that. Try to sell yourself on your positive things. And the second thing is keep yourself busy in the medical community. It doesn't matter if you don't get an inpatient rotation, if you don't get an outpatient rotation, your research work matters, your community work matters, your voluntary work matters. As long as you are active, you have something to talk about. Your interview is not on your clinical skills. Your interview is how much you have kept yourself active inside the medical community, so that they see that these 3 years that are going to be for you in the near future, how actively you can actually pass through that, and can you go forward and be a good resident? If you are a good fit to the team, you are in.
Well, thank you very much, Alex. Much appreciate your time. Very valuable tips, and best of luck for your residency again.
Thank you very much, sir. And if I can be of any help to anybody, I would be more than happy to. We are in the same boat, so let's just help each other.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.